Willie D Live.
What's up, family? A new poll has found that Donald Trump, your president, started the war because he wanted to distract from his involvement in the Epstein files. Yeah, fam. Yeah, people are talking about it. They're saying that Donald Trump started that war that has gotten thousands of people killed. You know it's underreported. Because he was trying to distract from the Epstein files. You don't say. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that. Give me a thumbs up if you believe Donald Trump started that war with Iran to distract from the Epstein files. Thumbs down if you say, no, not my president. I'm not, no way possible. I ain't believing no stuff like that, man. Yeah. Well, here's an article in Yahoo. Actually, it's in Yahoo, but it was written by Reuters. Says this. Let me get the headline first. Jaw-dropping poll reveal reason behind Trump's war in Iran. A majority of Americans think that Donald Trump's surprise attack on Iran was an effort to distract the public from his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, according to new research. 52% of likely voters polled by the progressive think tank Data for Progress said they believe Trump at least partly launched strikes on Iran on February 28 to distract from his once close relationship with the late financier and convicted sex offender, which was thrust back into view following the Department of Justice's botched release of the so-called Epstein files. The survey, funded by Zetio and Drop Site News and conducted among 1,272 likely voters, also found that at least a quarter of Republicans shared the same belief. I can't believe a quarter of them shared the same belief. A quarter of Republicans believe that? Now, but that ain't the biggest story. The biggest story is, in regards to a quarter of Republicans believing that Trump started the war to distract from the Epstein files. The biggest part is how many of those 25% of Trump supporters have decided to no longer support him. See, that's the big question. They know. Think about that. Think about the implications here, fam. You start a war. You send people off to die. You kill innocent people. You blow up a school. All of this to avoid accountability, and you're supposed to be the president of law and order? You're supposed to be the guy that go out and get all the bad guys and lock them up, keep America safe, secure the borders. Come on, fam. Come on. Additionally, a striking 2/3 of people under 45 echoed such claims, according to the survey. The poll also found that 55% of respondents disapproved of the war, a finding consistent with several other surveys. Last week, a separate poll from CNN found that nearly 6 in 10 Americans opposed the president and Israel's coordinated strikes on Iran, which as of publication have claimed the lives of at least 7 U.S. service members. The president, 79, said at a press conference on Monday that he expects the war he launched to end very soon. But a majority of those surveyed by CNN, 56%, said they believe the long-term military conflict between the United States and Iran is at least somewhat likely. Even lawmakers have accused the president of starting a war to distract from Epstein, who died by suicide, allegedly, in a Manhattan jail cell in 2019. Check out what Representative Thomas Massie said. Tommy Massie don't be playing no games with Trump. PSA, bombing a country on the other side of the globe won't make the Epstein files go away any more than the Dow going above 50,000 will. Ain't gonna make it go away, man. Ain't gonna make it. What can make the Epstein files go away? People being held accountable. I don't think nobody will be held accountable though, fam. It's been months. They know who's involved, but they redacted the faces of the perpetrators. They redacted the faces of the perpetrators and released the names and faces of many of the victims. I mean, like, they're supposed to be protecting the victims and exposing the predators, but it was the other way around. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a mistake. You know, because I can't imagine that our government would do something like that. So maybe that was just, you know, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a mistake. So what's Trump saying about all of this? Trump is saying, hey, man, the Epstein files is over. I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask me nothing about no Epstein files. Ask me something about the Epstein files if you want and watch what happened to you. That's basically what he's saying. The reporters are afraid to ask Trump anything about the Epstein files. They are scared to death. A majority of Americans think that Donald Trump's surprise attack on Iran was an effort to distract the public from his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. We really did not need a poll to come up with that conclusion. His voting act also is about keeping control so that he can avoid talking about the Epstein files, so that he can avoid those Epstein files coming out. All of it is about distracting from what's really going on. Now, here's the thing though, fam. These distractions happen all the time. This is just one of the bigger ones. There's no telling how many of the distractions that we wasn't paying attention to that we actually missed. You did? Venezuela was a distraction. Yeah. You know, saying that the Netherlands are next. That's a distraction. Then you come back and say Cuba. That's a distraction. Just anything, just keep people looking, going this way, looking at this, going this way, going this way, looking this way, going this way, going this way. It's all about throwing off the scent. It's about throwing the scent off. I don't like how this jacket fit. Let's just keep rising on. I don't like that. But anyway, fam, yeah, it's all about the distractions. The Epstein files was a distraction. The war was a distraction for the Epstein files. It was a distraction for this failing economy. It's a distraction for rising gas prices. Trump did this. If you're feeling pain at the pump, thank Donald Trump. Yeah, that was kind of dope. See, look, fam, I'm so cold with the rhyme thing that I be rhyming. I don't even be trying. Maybe I just start recording myself and then just figure out some type of AI thing that can go back and get all my rhymes when I do these videos and stuff, and they can just maybe compile the rhymes and, you know, maybe make a song or something. I don't know. But man, I'm cold with this rhyme thing. I'm super cold with it. But anyway, fam, totally a distraction from the most serious things. You know, you can hope for a patriotic boost in popularity, but that ain't happening. That's not going to be a patriotic boost in popularity. People have figured Trump out. The people who have figured Trump out has figured him out, and they're not going to be bamboozled. The others there are some who have figured him out, and they're not being bamboozled. They're just drinking the Kool-Aid, and they just They're cool with who he is. As long as they keep him, they don't care what he does. He can kill a mama. He can kill their daughter. He can do other things he do to people's daughters. And they're still going to rock with him no matter what. And where does Putin stand with all of this? Looks like to me, Putin is playing both sides against the middle. He's on one hand helping Iran with intelligence and, and war materials, while on the other hand, he's being friendly with Trump. You really can't trust none of them, fam. And there goes the whole concept of there is no, what do you say? No honor among thieves. That's where we are. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.